You, whatever you're doing right now, it's a Saturday, and maybe this is the first time watching the Daily Swole. And if you are, don't watch my show.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Don't watch this, turn it off, put your phone away, turn your computer off, put your tablet under the bed, get rid of it, off the screen, never again. This episode 400, don't watch my show. So a lot of you are probably wondering, Papa Swolio, no grunting? Oh, I'll give a couple grunts. First off, welcome everyone to episode 400 of the most muscular podcast in the realm, live cast, broadcast, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Thank you for watching every day at 12 noon Eastern Time on Facebook. Thanks for watching on YouTube and listening to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. And today is the episode that you stop watching my show. Today is do not watch my show day. Now, let's go over a couple reasons why you should not be watching the Daily Swole, why you should not be following Swolenormous, why you should have nothing to do with any of this. A lot of people have questions. A lot of questions about the fitness, a lot of questions about exercise, a lot of questions about losing weight, about building muscle, how to get abs, what the best diet is, what exercise is best for building this area of the quad or this area of the biceps, or how do I get the shoulder a little bit bigger on the sides? What exercise, Papa Swolio, what exercise is best for the side of the shoulder or for the upper pecs, or is this exercise good, or is this food better than that food? And when should I work out? Is it best to work out in the morning? Is it best to work out in the evening? When's the best time to train? When's it best for my body? I don't have those answers. I don't have those answers. I go to school, not now. I've read the books. I have drank the coffee. I've done the gym. I've lifted in the gym for years, 15, 16 years. I've trained hard. I've built mass. I've done it. I still do it. The more I am in the fitness industry, the more that I do this, not this, but the more that I'm involved with the fitness industry, the more it is just glaringly apparent that the vast majority of the stuff you will hear, even the questions that you will ask, is either out of laziness or someone telling you something that they want you to want to hear. There are so many roads to success. You know, there's so many roads to a destination. So if you have a point on the map, if you live in the United States and you have a point on a city in Kansas, who cares? Or even New York City, you know there's several ways to get into New York City. There are several ways to get to Kansas. You can go north, you can go west, you can go east, you can go south. There are so many ways to get to an endpoint. And if you are coming into the brand, if you're coming into Swolenormous, if you're coming into the Swole sphere, and you think, or you have this perception that there is a scientific study out there that tested something that works for you, that this workout program is going to be your holy grail. This is your diet plan. This is the amount of reps that you should be doing. Even some of you that aren't asking for a handout consciously, you're still looking for one. You're still looking for an answer, you know? And what baffles me is that no matter how many studies that there will be, scientific studies are done by a human being. They're done a certain way with certain people, but they're not done with you unless you actually did the study. You don't know if it's necessarily going to work for you. So here's where this is going. Don't watch my show and expect that I am going to tell you what to do. Don't expect that there is going to be anything short of you have to try different things in order to find out what works. You have to look at yourself as a canvas. You're a blank canvas, and until your body experiences the stress, until your body experiences the overload, until your body experiences the systematic progression in a certain way, in a certain environment, at a certain time in your life. When you're 20, it's going to be different than when you're 30. When you're 30, it's going to be different than when you're 40 and 50, right? There is a lot to be said for the hard work. There's a lot to be said for the discipline and knowing your why and blah, blah, blah. There's a lot to be said for, I mean, it's nice. It's nice to be like, hey, what should I do? Okay, do this. And you know what? Sometimes that works. Sometimes that works. Sometimes that fucking works, you know? You go and you spend $30 to some Joe Schmo at a gym and like, hey, can you give me this diet plan? Can you give me this nutrition plan? Like, sure, bro. They write on the back of a fucking napkin and you do that and you lose some weight. You get some results. I mean, you're still eating food. You're still doing something. It might work. It just depends on, you know, it depends on what you're looking for. I mean, things happen. You might stop eating Cheetos and lose 20 pounds. I mean, you know, you might get rid of bananas and lose some. I mean, there's so many factors that come into weight loss. There's so many factors that come into muscle gain. I mean, there's some general principle truths that we as humans believe. We believe why? Why do we believe? Because there's 7 billion people on Earth now, and many, 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 many people have done things a certain way, and many of those people have found that these areas or these styles of training or this style of eating works. So all we know is that doing certain things work or have worked for some people, so let me try that myself, right? you are your own science experiment. So don't watch my show if you think there's going to be a holy grail answer. Don't watch my show if you think there's going to be any kind of guaranteed results. Don't watch my show if you think there are going to be promises, like do this and you're going to get this. I know a lot about what I know. I don't know about what I don't know. And that's how I work. There are a lot of things I don't know about. There are a lot of things I don't know about you. There are a lot of things I don't know about science. And that's from being educated. That's by studying in school. And that's by training in the gym and teaching exercise and reading about it and living it. And despite all that, there's a lot of things that I don't know. And the same thing goes for you. No matter what your expertise is in life, there are a lot of things that you don't know about. And assuming things you don't know is dangerous. And assuming that what works for someone else will work for you is also dangerous. In the process, in the application, in the execution, that's also dangerous. The idea that one size fits all, the idea that you should eat this but not that, don't do this, do that, don't overeat, don't eat too much of that because it's bad for you. You shouldn't eat that food, eat this food instead. A lot of that could be true, but then you always see these people that do the opposite, that are going against the grain, and they might have certain results that you're looking for. So that is what gives people doubt. That's what gives people doubt. That's what gives people doubt with fitness, is that they see these outliers. They see people that have these results from these freakish or flukish diets and workout programs, and they think, well, fuck, it worked for that person. Maybe I should learn some kind of strategy based on what that person does. But there are always outliers. There are always outliers. There are always people that are doing shit fucking weird. There are always those people. There are always flukes. There's always freaks. There's always those exceptional situations that allows for certain people to see results or to get something that isn't realistic for the majority in that sense. So the reasons why you shouldn't watch my show are clear, but what I want you to understand is that you need to be your own science experiment. You need to be your own test. You need to start looking at yourself like a science experiment. If you know anything about reading a scientific paper from a study, you need to be your own study, because you're your own person. You have your own ecosystem. You have your own body with its own experiences. And that comes down to you being your own test subject. And if you think about it, what is more important than that? What is more important than being your own test subject? Because, and I want you to think about this very carefully, does anyone else's results matter but yours? Does it matter if eating this type of bread worked for those 6 people? Does it work for you? Does it matter that this workout style worked for these 20 people? Does it work for you? It doesn't matter that the way or how often these people work out per week works for them. Does it work for you? There has to be some kind of logic applied. There has to be some type of common sense, but there also has to be the understanding that everyone is different. What works for them won't necessarily work for you. And that no matter what it is, if you are not willing to put the effort in, if you're not willing to disbelieve what you hear, if you're not willing to keep an open mind in this world, then you'll never grow. It's one thing to put your head down and do work. It's another thing to just blindly believe everything that you hear. So it's very important that you start looking at yourself. You start looking at yourself. You start looking within yourself. And you stop watching my fucking show. You stop looking outside for all the answers. You stop looking outside for all the answers and you start looking within yourself. Because all the answers are in you. All the episodes are in you. All the episodes are within yourself. You have all the answers. Now, it comes down to the question of whether or not you have the patience, the interest, or you have the ability to understand what I'm saying here. If you are willing to put the work in and analyze yourself. And analyze yourself and look down. Get in there. Get in there and see what your body is doing. See what the result is. Get the effect. Get the answer. Get the answer. The answer is inside. That's the answer. So if you're not watching my show, maybe you're doing work. Maybe you're experimenting. Maybe you're out there testing. Maybe you're out there applying some of this shit. And no, Ariana, the numbers go up and down all the time. They went right back up. You see, it doesn't matter whether you watch or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you watch or not. Because whether or not you are sitting here watching the show for the first time or for the 400th time, I'm not stopping the show. This is not, hey, this is the last episode. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. And, you know, it's going to get, oh my God. I mean, this is not for shock value. This is just some straight shit. Some straight shit. You know? And people are, I know I'm going to get questions. It's like, oh, but you have a workout program. But you have this. Yeah, I have those things. And it's based on all my fucking knowledge, and it's based on all my fucking experience. My experience. My research. My execution. What have you done? Think about that. What have you done? You are your own scientist. You are your own scientist. You are the one. You are the one. You are the one that will determine the outcome of the test. If you do one test, you might find, and think about it, you try one thing. You try one thing, you're going to find out whether or not one thing works. One thing. You try 5 things, you're going to find which one of those 5 things work the best and which ones don't. Maybe 5 of them won't. Maybe one's not bad and the other 4 suck. You try 10 things. You see where I'm going with this? You try 10 things, you might find one that works really well, 2 that work meh, and the other 7, nothing. You try 50 things. Now, I'm not saying there's 50 different diets you should be trying all the time, and every day you try eating a different way. There's different strategies to that, and if you haven't watched any of the shows, then you really have to get started. So this is all about taking responsibility. Taking responsibility and looking at yourself for the answers more than outside. Taking initiative to generate some of that knowledge, because you are this knowledge. You are the brain. You are you. You are the one that knows the answer. I don't know the answer for you. I don't know the answer for you. I know many things about what I've done with myself. I know many things about the diets, the styles of training. But do you know about you? Do you know what you do? Do you know what works best for you? And that is the trick. That is the kicker. That is the tweak. That's the gem. That's the secret. So if you're not willing to use yourself, if you're not willing to experiment upon yourself, you're not willing to make that commitment. Yeah, it's episode 400. It's great. There's so much content. People still come to me and ask me a simple question. It's like, there's 400 episodes. Talked about it before. People don't want that. They want an answer. They want an answer really quick. Well, how do I do this? Well, how do I do that? Don't even want to take 5 minutes to do a search on YouTube. 5 minutes. Keyword, Swolenormous. It'll pop right up. Don't even want to do that. Don't watch the show. Just quickly ask a question. So quick to just, hey. And that's not a problem. I love talking to you guys. That's fine. I'm not saying I hate it. I'm saying you have to think about what you want for yourself. What do you want for yourself? What do you want for yourself? How much do you care about what actually happens? How much do you care about your longevity? How much do you care about your life? Because once you invest your time and your effort into that end goal, which is the end of your life, which is the long-term health, you start training differently, you start eating differently, you'll start doing everything differently. If you get off this, hey, I'm trying to get abs, I'm trying to get this result, you're going to train a lot differently than when you start looking for, fitness is life, where am I going with it? Where am I taking my body? Where's my body going? How long do I want my body around for? Your exercises change, the goals change, your nutrition changes, your mental situation, your mental state changes. And that's what I want to leave you with. I want you to sit back, I want you to think, because 400 is a nice goal, it's a nice number. You know, tomorrow 401, 402, it's going to be 500 for you. No, and eventually be 1,000. What are you going to do with your goal? How are you going to change your goal? And you can comment below. You can send me a message. I want you to think about your goal and think about if that goal is really something that is attainable. Is it something that should be attainable? Or is it something that is just some kind of superficial pipe dream that really has no true bearing on what you should be focusing on based on your family, based on your own dreams and your own ambitions for your entire life? I want you to start thinking about this on a larger scale. And then understand that what you do daily and how you approach fitness and how you approach your training is going to relate to that. So there are no quick fixes. You're not going to get any answers. You're not going to get do this, not that. You're going to get a lot of tried and true experience, hands-on, what I did, what I've seen happen. There's a lot of stuff out there. There are many roads to success, but you have to take your first step down any one of those roads in order to make a difference. So don't watch my show if you're waiting for the secret of fucking life, the secret of fitness. Doesn't exist. There's no answer, there's no absolute program, there's no absolute diet. Doesn't fucking exist. I don't care what you're watching, I don't care who you're talking to. It doesn't exist. There is absolutely no one best way to do anything. There's only the best way that you should be doing everything. And if you haven't tried anything, then how the fuck do you know? And that's just what it comes down to. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 400 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular live cast, podcast, Swolecast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Thanks for watching every day at 12 noon Eastern time right here on Facebook. The gain train and the rage train is going to continue as always. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. You can also catch him on YouTube at Swolenormous and also listen to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. I am going to be all over probably Instagram stories probably today. Doing a lot of stuff today, a lot of work. So much love. There's supposed to be there's some other content that's coming, so keep alive on all the channels. Premium, what there should be. I posted something last night on the Instagram premium. I don't think it went through, so Instagram is super glitchy, but keep an eye on that as well. So I'll talk to everyone soon, but make sure you stop watching this shit. You start fucking putting in work. You hear me? Huh? All right. Be good. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose. I'll see y'all tomorrow for episode 401. The next 100 is going to be even sicker. Later, guys.